Hi, Caribbean Gospel TV, and welcome to another edition of Inside the Industry. I am Soraya Romero, and it's always a joy to be your host. As you know how we do it here on Inside the Industry, we connect with our artists throughout the Caribbean and we learn more about their lives. We get some insight into their music. So today it brings me real joy to introduce a fellow sister from the Caribbean. She hails from the island of Jamaica. Hi, Ruth-Ann.
Hi, Saraya.
Hi, it's so great to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. And I know a lot of persons know your music. Just to give a little background about Ruth-Ann, Ruth-Ann just released her second single. She is a worship leader. She is actively involved in music. I also read that she's a drummer, so she's quite multifaceted. All right. So, Ruth-Ann, tell me, for those listening, a little bit about yourself, what you're up to these days, what is making you very excited these days. Let's know.
Hi, everybody. Thanks again so much for having me, Caribbean Gospel TV. All right, so my name is Ruth-Ann Samuels, born and raised in Jamaica. As Saraya would have said, I am very involved in music. So I love God with all of my heart. And, my favorite way of expressing that love for God is through music. So I've been in music from I was a little girl. I grew up in church, fell in love with praise and worship. I used to do praise and worship with my mom at such a young age, started playing the drums, and that has really just stuck with me from, I would say, probably the age of 7 straight up to now. So I've been doing music from that time and I never looked back. So yeah,
Um,
that's where my background started. Yeah.
wow, excellent, excellent. So, Ruth-Ann, I know you said you grew up in Jamaica, right? And typically, Jamaica is known for the dancehall, the reggae, that kind of thing. But you chose the route of worship. I mean, being a young female, did you feel any pressure? What was it like growing up in your school and you making the stance to, choose the route of worship?
Wow, that's a really good question. So I think it had a lot to do with my upbringing first. So my father is a pastor, so I grew up in church. I was exposed to music and worship at a very young age. My mother used to take me to a lot of gospel concerts. I was always just hearing this gospel music in my ears, and I loved it. It wasn't like boring. It was really exciting. I got exposed to artists like Jermaine Edwards, Prodigal Son, and I fell in love with music. And it really took me through high school. So I will say there were pressures in high school and, different things that a teenager would face in high school. But one thing that kept me was just this music, these other gospel artists that I could look up to, that were spreading just positive messages through their music. That helped me a lot throughout high school. I have to pick up Jermaine Edwards here. That really kept me through high school. Specifically in, I think, the 10th grade, I moved from Kingston to Manchester. And that move kind of really impacted my life in such a way that I got so closer to God at that time. And then I feel like even though I was in ministry before, that move being taken from everything that I knew at that time really shifted me into ministry. So in fourth form, I got involved in ministry, choirs, you name it. And I think God just really opened the door and I recognized that, hey, I'm called for ministry here. So music, worship just took me through high school, took me through all of those struggles. It really kept me grounded during that season of my life. Yeah.
Wow, Ruth-Ann, that is quite an experience. I know you mentioned that you were heavily involved in worship when you made a transition, and you are currently a worship leader, correct?
Correct. That's correct.
Right. Tell me some more about your worship leading. You are involved with two churches right now, correct?
That's correct. Yes, I am. I
Tell
am.
us more about those churches.
Sure. So I started leading worship at a young age. Right now, up until this point, right now, I serve as a worship leader at my father's church, which is Junction Pentecostal Church of God. It's in St. Elizabeth in Jamaica. And I also serve as a worship leader at Fellowship Tabernacle in Mandeville. So the story about how I started serving in both churches. After the move from Kingston, my father wasn't pastoring a church at the time. And, we started visiting other churches, just fellowshipping with other churches. And then the first time I went to Fellowship Tabernacle, I just loved it. Very contemporary Hillsong type of worship. And I loved it. And I started attending and I started serving as a worship leader there. And I have loved it so much so far. It really has taught me the basics and the real foundation of worship leading. And then I think a little bit after that, my father started pastoring again in St. Elizabeth. So I started visiting his church as well and supporting the ministry there as well. So two beautiful churches. I get the opportunity to serve. Sometimes this Sunday I'll be at this church helping with worship, and other times I'm just with my dad and the family. Yeah.
Right. Oh, wow. Lovely. I think that's great that you get to, pour your heart in two different places and, support the churches in Jamaica. So that's really, really excellent. And also, I mean, inside the industry, we talk a lot to artists, right? So I'm very happy right now to be able to speak with a worship leader. I wanted to ask, what does it really, from your experience, what does it really take to be a worship leader? I feel like, persons viewing right now, they may have an interest in leading worship and they may be considering it. But what would you say, what are the ingredients or what goes in? What are the inputs that go in to make an excellent and a real and pure worship leader?
Wow, that's a good question. Okay, so I think the first thing is I believe that true worship leading comes out of just true devotion with God. And even though I'm in a season of my life right now where I'm like, God, just help me to forget everything I know about worship leading and just teach me all over again. Because I feel like, the further we go in God, the deeper we get and the more we build a relationship with Him, He reveals different things to us. And I feel like He's just revealing different things about worship in this season to me.
Yeah.
Definitely, I would say the first thing is just having that devotion with God. You can't leave out your quiet time. You have to just get into that space where you're worshiping Him at home, in the car, wherever you are. So just devotion with God, a genuine love for worship. Like you have to love worship to leave people there. It's not something you just do on Sunday. You have to love it. I mean, get up in the morning, the first thing you do is put on a worship song. When you're in the car, you're going to work, you're listening to worship music. So I just think loving worship itself is another ingredient. Loving music, of course, you have to love music to, really be a worship leader. And I think another ingredient definitely would be a love for people and a love for serving. Worship leading, I'm learning this recently. It's also about really how we can serve others. So we're helping them to get closer to God. We're leading them in worship. We're leading them in a time of worship, but we're also leading them to Jesus. So how can they become more like God? How do they act in situations when they come up on the job? Like what's our posture? So I feel like another ingredient would definitely be just a heart of service and how we can serve others. Yeah. And bring them to the King. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I think someone really was blessed by what you just shared. So thank you so much for sharing that. And, just reiterating just the real and the true expression that it is. It's so beautiful. So you've been doing lots of worship leading. You've been very active in your church. And then in 2024, you released your very own single. Tell us some more about the first single that you released, what it's about, and how that all came about.
Okay, so Higher Place was my debut single. I love that song so much. The story behind that song is I wrote it in high school. So I wrote it not too long ago. I don't guess my age, but it's not that long ago. But yeah, I wrote it in high school. I had it for a while in my journal. So I had a lot of songs in my journal from high school. And then fast forward to when I started attending Fellowship Tabernacle, I met with my now manager. And, we were just talking, and, he was saying, God just told me to really support you on this ministry. And then we started having writing sessions. And I was like, all right, it's time to pick up back songwriting. At the time, I was doing a lot of background vocals, so it took me some time to step out of my comfort zone as a background vocalist and to really
Mhm.
like, finish my own songs. So I went through that background vocalist stage as well, which was pivotal in my journey. And then we just started writing songs, writing, and then we finished it. We started having rehearsals for the song, fleshed it out, and then we went to the studio last year. Was it last year or the year before last year? I can't remember, but
Mhm.
I think it was last. And we recorded it. And that song is really just about a desire to for more intimacy with God. I desire to draw closer to Him. So the song is saying pretty much in the chorus, God, take me to a higher place. I don't feel comfortable with the level where I'm at. I want to go deeper. I want to know you more. It's for persons who desire to get closer to God, but they don't really have the language for it. Um, so that song is just about being in God's presence. And yeah, that was my first song. That's the journey. That's the journey.
Lovely. And I got to listen to it as well, and I really, really enjoyed it. I think there's a lot of soul, a lot of passion. The
Yeah.
lyrics are really on point. So I can relate when you said you love that song because I also really embrace it. So, you know what? Let's allow Caribbean Gospel TV to take a listen and a look because I know you also have a music video out. This
Yeah.
is Ruth Ann's debut single, Higher. Let's take a listen.
I wanna be close to you, right by your side. I wanna know you more. You're always on my mind. Let everything I do draw me near to you. Take me to a higher place. God, take me to a higher place. Oh, oh, oh. I just wanna be where you are, and when the storms of life.
Welcome back, Caribbean Gospel TV. You're looking at Inside the Industry, and today we're speaking with Ruth-Ann Samuels. You just listened to her single Higher, which was released in 2024. It's such a beautiful song, Ruth-Ann. Really, really excellent job on that one. Really, really excellent. So,
God.
Ruth-Ann, I know we spoke about that single a little while back, and you didn't stop, you didn't slow down right after in 2025. You released another one. Tell us about your second single.
Yes. All right. So for my second single, I actually wanted to release it in 2024. I wanted to end the year with a bang, but God had different plans. So
Hmm.
I released it this year, February. So the title of that song is called The Reasons. And I love this song too. I love all this. And this song now was definitely a different vibe, a different type of energy. It was more of just celebrating all of the reasons that God has given us to thank Him. It was very celebratory. When God gave me the vision for the song, He was like, you need to be around your family, you need to be around your friends. So the music video just shows that genuine and authentic fellowship between friends and family. And we just celebrate it because God is good, God good. So that song was just me expressing to God, Lord, thank you for all you've done over all of these years. You've been so good to me. And I repeat that so many times through the song. God, you're so amazing. God, you're so good. So it's really a celebration song. And I love it so much. Makes you want to dance, get up and
It
just.
does. It does. So I look at the video as well. It's very, very joyous, very fun. What was it like for you producing the video? Do you remember when
I
you were
do.
recording it, what it was like?
Yes, it was just like yesterday. Oh my gosh. I will say that video shooting is very tiring. I was very tired because we did
Oh,
2 days of shooting, but it was so fun at the same time. So I did the solo shoots like the day before, and then we did the fellowship shots the second day, and it was so fun. Everybody was like literally so happy. We didn't have to pretend. It was just so authentic. We're like, guys, just chill, drink some juice, drink some soup, just enjoy yourself, have fun. And yeah, that was it for the day. It was really good. It was really good. Great
you
fellowship.
definitely accomplished that. Definitely. I could have sensed that precisely as you described it. Really great video, really excellent. So, Ruth-Ann, tell me a bit about the future, right? Is it that you're going to release more singles? Can we look out for a full album? What are your hopes for the future?
All right, so right now I'm definitely looking to release more singles this year. So I'm back to writing. Definitely, I want to release more singles this year. Work my way up to an EP first, possibly. But if God gives me more songs, then definitely an album. But for now, in the short term, next 3 to 6 months, definitely more singles. You can look out for that from me. Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. And I also got to look at some of your unplugged videos on YouTube. Do you plan to do some more of those?
Definitely, definitely. Because even though um pursuing gospel music as an artist, I'll always be a worship leader at heart, always be a worship leader at heart. So definitely we'll be doing more worship videos, possibly more collaborations with other worship leaders as well, because I find that some people just they want to go on YouTube and just find a worship video and just play it in the house and just
Yeah.
worship. So I'll definitely do more of those as well.
Excellent. And I saw you had a whole team with you doing the unplugged video. Is it that you connect with your friends? How do you come about with your team or your worship group to do these productions?
Okay, that's a good question as well. I have a very supportive community. Love them, have to shout them out. Not just my band and my background vocalist. I'm a part of this youth community called the Joshua Generation Leaders, where it's just a group of people based
Wow.
in Caribbean, based in the US, Canada, and we support each other and help to help each other to grow spiritually. So they're a big part of my ministry as well because they support me. So if I say, all right, guys, we have a music video, some of them are like, yeah, man, we'll support you. And my band, of course, my band and my singers, they're always ready. They're just like, just waiting on me to call. So I'm just grateful for them. My manager as well, he really helps me. And where I am currently living, my community, my city, we have a very strong network of musicians that whenever we have events, everyone kinds of they pull together very easily for these
Right.
events. We're a very tight-knit music network here in this city. Yeah.
Lovely. That's such a blessing. I think support really makes the difference. So I'm really grateful that you have that. And also, when we look at your videos and we look at your content, we also see that so clearly. We see your support network, which is very, very beautiful.
Thank you.
Ruth, and I know also that you spoke earlier on about your mom and the role that she played in your music. Tell us some more about how your family is influential in your music.
So I love this question. As I would have said earlier, they played a very big role in my ministry and just the journey so far. My mother has always been pushing me to do music. So I used to just be in the back of her car while she was just playing these different songs from these different gospel artists. So that's where it started, of course. Teaching me the foundations of worship. And no, she's just really supporting me, telling all her friends, oh my God, you listen to her song. My dad as well sings too. So I think I got some of my music genes from him. And he plays the guitar. And he's always just, pouring into me, sharing the music with the church group as well. So both of them have just been really a blessing to me. Sunday, they were praying with me and, just covering me from ministry. And I felt so blessed, just to have that covering and just that encouragement from them being in ministry as well, being
Yeah,
spiritual leaders and
yeah.
them pouring into me. Yeah. So I'm grateful for them.
So, so, so beautiful. I also want to ask Ruth-Ann, I know that you're a young person, you're a young woman, and you're so involved in ministry and worship. If there is someone who's also young and they're looking on, but they may not feel as bold or as confident to step out just yet, to maybe, lead or to seek to lead or to produce their own music, what
Mhm.
advice or motivation would you share with them?
Mhm. Yes. Sarah asked the best questions. Best questions. Okay. All right. So I would say it's something I'm still learning. Like every day, honestly, I'm pushing myself. Like I was ministering at an event on Saturday and I was like, God, help me to do this. So
Yeah.
it's a journey of just getting bolder and bolder. And I think my advice would be to just stay close to God, talk to him about it. Let him know how you feel, say, God, I know you've called me for this. I need you to help me to become bold. I need to know that I'm really walking on the path that you've called me to. Pray for confidence, pray for boldness, pray that you will just be sensitive to what he wants to do in your life. And I think when you do that, when you're open and honest with him, he'll just surround you with the persons that you need, of course, the resources that you need, and just give you that boldness and the strength to do what he's called you to do. So if he's called you to do it, he's gonna make the provision for it and he's gonna show you how to. So it's more about just surrendering and just being open and honest with him. And of course, just take the baby steps. Don't rush. Take your time. Just take your time. God's got you. He'll take you through it. Yeah, man.
So encouraging. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Ruth-Ann. And I know that persons looking on would be blessed by just learning about your life. It's so great when, inside the industry, we can sit and chat and get to know more about you because we may be seeing you on Instagram or listening to your music, but to learn about your whole life story and all that you've been through is really, really encouraging. So thank you so much for sharing with us. For those who may want to listen some more and explore your music, where can they find your music?
Sure. All right. So you can just go to YouTube, type in Ruth-Ann Samuels. So Ruth-Ann Samuels. You can also follow me on Instagram at _R Samuels. And you can check me out on TikTok too. I think my name on TikTok is at Ruthie Samuels. But first, please go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, like, and share.
Excellent. Well, Ruth-Ann, thank you again for speaking with us. I wish you all of the best, and we really look forward to more of your singles. We are supporting you here on Caribbean Gospel TV, and may God continue to bless you and use you mightily in all that you do. So thank you so much. It's been a joy speaking with you.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks for the opportunity. God bless you guys. I love what you're doing here. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. We've been speaking with Ruth-Ann Samuels from Jamaica. She has produced two beautiful, beautiful songs, and we encourage you to go check them out and keep looking out for more from Ruth-Ann Samuels. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Inside the Industry, and we'll be back with you again with more artists, more people, more fun. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I will give thanks to you, Lord, with all my heart. I will tell of all your wonderful deeds. I will be glad and rejoice in you. I will sing the praises of your name, O Most High.
Yeah, man. Ready.
Somebody worship. How I made it was only your grace. Through every trial, you've strengthened my faith. Turned every test into a testimony. Lord, I lost, but you gave me victory. In my pain, God, you came and healed me. You're so amazing.
but she gave me victory.